Today is interesting. Today is day one of a series of videos that I'm going to be doing this summer all about hyperpigmentation and skin brightening. There's a lot of different aspects to that, especially if you're also acne prone. If you are dealing with scarring as well as pigmentation from the sun, you've got a lot of things going on that you're looking to address. So this is our first video, so I don't have a ton of products to show you. I didn't want to overwhelm you guys. So keep in mind, there's a lot of brightening products and tyrosinase inhibiting products that we carry that I'm not going to mention today. It doesn't mean that they're not great products. It just means that I didn't want to give you too many options. I want to keep it simple today and give you some simple solutions that you can implement really easily into your routine. So without further ado though, today we're talking about tyrosinase inhibitors. And what is tyrosinase? So tyrosinase is actually an enzyme in your skin that is a main part of the formation of pigmentation, aka melanin. So when you see a dark spot rise up to the skin, that is made up of melanin. And this melanin reaction is actually happening to try to protect your skin. Your skin is seeing this damage, either you're getting UV damage, heat damage, wound damage, and your skin is trying to protect itself by building up this pigmentation response. So tyrosinase inhibitors are products that go in and try to suppress and keep down that enzyme activity of tyrosinase so that we can start to prevent those dark spots from forming. So tyrosinase inhibitors are really all about prevention. That doesn't mean that if you don't already have dark spots, you shouldn't be using it, because if you already have dark spots, chances are you are prone to getting them and you need to be using preventative products along with corrective products. So today's video is really leaning into the preventative products that you can add into your routine. So if you are someone who already has pigmentation, these would be products you would use along with your brightening products. Or if you're someone who isn't quite seeing a ton of pigmentation yet, but you know that you have a genetic disposition, like you have a parent that has a lot of dark spots, or if you get breakouts and you regularly get long-lasting scar-like pigmentation from your pimples, that is also affected by the tyrosinase enzyme. So we can prevent those pigmentation spots from sun damage as well as scarring from breakouts by the use of tyrosinase inhibitors. So before we dive into some products, let's talk about the process of pigmentation. So let's talk about some triggers to this. So there's a lot of different triggers to pigmentation. You have hormones, you have UV, which is sun, you have heat. Heat can drive that. Another thing that can drive that is dry, dehydrated skin, and then also wounded skin. Wounded skin can also be triggered to create pigmentation as well. So these are all triggers. And what are they triggering? So when these things occur in our skin, the first flag is inflammation. So we start with inflammation. Then our body starts to go into this place where it starts to activate tyrosinase. It starts activating these melanocytes. Then the melanocytes start making their way, developing up to the dermis. And then there's that final melanin transfer, which is when that dark pigment occurs on the skin. So tyrosinase inhibiting is really going down to the source and trying to get that melanin as it is trying to form using that tyrosinase enzyme. So another key part though is while we're using tyrosinase inhibitors for that piece, we also want to look at inflammation, because inflammation is a key piece of that melanin production. So the products that I'm going to talk about today are coming at pigmentation by preventing it with tyrosinase inhibitors, antioxidants, and helping with that inflammation piece. The reason why antioxidants are very important is because when UV hits our skin, we immediately start creating these things, we're not creating them, sorry. What are created on our skin is free radicals. Free radicals actually damage our skin by stealing our different electrons from our different cells. So free radicals, no good. They create damage to our skin, to our collagen, they're not good. So antioxidants are also a key piece in this preventative kind of recipe that we are putting together today. So ingredients that I like to use are obviously going to be ingredients that have that tyrosinase inhibiting. So that's ingredients like bearberry, which is a natural source of arbutin. Kojic acid is a great ingredient. Mulberry is another natural tyrosinase inhibitor. Let's see what else we have. Licorice root is an amazing tyrosinase inhibitor. And also mandelic acid. A lot of people don't realize that mandelic acid is also a tyrosinase inhibitor. So we've got a range of products that work really well, or ingredients that work really well, and then we try to find formulations that are giving our skin what it needs in this perfect little concoction. So I picked out a few products that I just always come back to when I'm creating a preventative routine or someone is looking to add preventative products into their routine. Let's start with some Glymed. These are the products that I'm recommending the most. Actually, before I dive in, let me double check. There is a question here. So hi, regarding genetic predisposition, I am prone to having dermatosis papulosa nigra on my face. Would these products help with that? What about glycolic acid? You know what? I am not familiar with that condition. I'll be completely honest. I would need to do a little research and then get back to you. I have not done deep research on that particular thing and what it needs. So that is a great question. Maybe we can get back to you. If you can reach out to our esthetician chat, we can do some research and get back to you. Sorry, I didn't have an immediate answer on that, but even the experts, sometimes we gotta do our research too. Okay, so let's dive into the products that I recommend if you want to get into these preventative pieces. So the number one tyrosinase inhibitor that I'm reaching for, recommending to absolutely everyone, is Glymed's Daily Skin Clarifier. So Daily Skin Clarifier is super, super lightweight. It totally absorbs into the skin very easily, very quickly. It does have a really hydrating finish to it. So it doesn't feel like a corrective serum. It doesn't leave you feeling like you've used anything astringent. It has a nourishing feel to it, but it's also very, very lightweight. So this is licorice root, bearberry, mulberry, so you're getting the natural arbutin in here. This is a very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like an antioxidant balm mixed with tyrosinase inhibitors with like the tiniest amount of natural acids just to help with penetration. So you will notice in here there's a little bit of sugarcane extract. That's a very, very natural form of glycolic. So you've got these very, very light fruit acids. They're not enough to cause full-on exfoliation of the skin. So you can use this layered with any corrective serum. You can either mix this or layer this with any corrective serum that you're already using. My favorite is to mix it or layer it with Face Reality's Mandelic Serum. Face Reality's Mandelic Serum is like the holy grail for clearing acne. And when you combine these two together, you've got this acne clearing perfect product, and you've got your tyrosinase inhibitor that's going to prevent your acne from causing long-term scarring. And this is also naturally anti-inflammatory as well. So we're coming at that pigment from all the different angles that it needs to help prevent it. This is more of a gentle product, so if you are someone who already has a ton of pigment, you'll be using this as your preventative in the morning, but usually you're going to want some other brightening products in your routine, and we will get to those later on in our series. I think next week is my next video in this series, and we're going to go into some more corrective solutions for pigmentation. But today we're looking at these preventative must-haves, these things that you need in your routine to prevent dark spots and pigmentation, especially now that it's summer. We need that extra protection. So that's Daily Skin Clarifier. So easy to add into your routine. One pump is all you need. It's pretty liquidy, so I usually always pump it right into my palm rather than my fingertips because it can kind of spurt out. So just right into your palm. I also mix fulvic elixir into my concoction with this because it is very healing and soothing. That's usually my go-to combination, but it works amazing mixed into any of your corrective serums. So good. So good. I love this stuff so much. So I've been getting asked a lot lately, what is the difference between Daily Skin Clarifier and Glymed's other tyrosinase inhibitor, which is the Pigment Brightening Serum. So the biggest difference between these two is that Daily Skin Clarifier is loaded with lots of natural tyrosinase inhibitors. So they're using bearberry extract, they're using mulberry, they're using licorice root. So this is a very natural product, very full of antioxidants, very anti-inflammatory. So it kind of comes at things at a little more of a holistic place. You're getting nourishment for the skin, antioxidants, and the brightening effect. Pigment Brightening Serum is actually using a lab-made brightener, and it's got a long name. I wrote it down for you guys. It's 1-methyl-hydantoin-2-amide. This is a lab-formulated skin brightener, which means that it doesn't mean that it's not as good as a natural brightener. It's just different. So this is really good for targeting if you already are seeing dark spots. So if you are concerned with correcting and preventing, that's when I usually grab Pigment Brightening Serum. So this does have glycolic acid in it, so not as good for mixing in or using at the same time as your mandelic acid, but it doesn't have a ton of glycolic acid. It just has enough to act as a delivery agent. So the glycolic acid actually helps drive in that active ingredient, the methyl-hydantoin-2-amide. So it does have a little bit of an exfoliating nature to it, but not as much as like something like your mandelic serum or a stronger salicylic or glycolic serum. But I recommend this for someone who's looking to prevent but also brighten. Think of it as just packing a bigger punch than your Daily Skin Clarifier. This does also have vitamin C, so it does have some antioxidant protection in there. It does have the vitamin C. You can use this twice a day, but I would be really careful and make sure you're using sunscreen. That's something I want to touch on real quick is all these products I'm going to show you today will not work and are a waste of money if you are not wearing sunscreen. That's the hard truth with pigmentation. The number one trigger for pigmentation on the skin is always going to be UV radiation, UV waves, sun. So sunscreen should be your number one thing. If you're going to buy one thing for pigmentation, it's a good sunscreen that you can reapply throughout the day, one that you like the texture of, so you actually enjoy putting it on. So if you didn't see my video 2 weeks ago, MJ and I went through and swatched and talked about all of the acne safe sunscreens that we sell at Art of Skincare. So if you need to find one, go watch that video. I think that can be really helpful if you've been on the fence about different sunscreens. But let me get off my soapbox now. Let me go back to tyrosinase inhibitors. As I was saying with Pigment Brightening Serum, just be sure you're really good about wearing sunscreen if you're using this twice a day. If you're tend to be out in the sun a lot during the summer, even if you're wearing a lot of sunscreen but you just spend a lot of time in the summer or out in the sun in the summer, then I would just use this at night and go with Daily Skin Clarifier during the day. Daily Skin Clarifier, totally safe for use during the day. The very, very light amounts of plant acids that are in here are not enough to cause that UV sensitivity that some of these stronger serums can cause. So that is the main difference between these two. Pigment Brightening Serum, a bit more brightening for pigment that you already have while still being preventative. Daily Skin Clarifier, safe for all skin types, easy to layer with anything because it is very gentle, best for preventative. If you are looking to brighten spots you already have, probably combine this with other brighteners. Combine it with Mandelic Serum. Mandelic Serum, this is a great inhibitor as well as a brightener of current dark spots. So this is a great combination. Okay, another one that I want to mention today. This product does not get nearly enough love, but this is my go-to for pigmentation caused by acne, especially inflamed acne. So PIE or PIH, these are pigmentation concerns caused by that inflamed acne that causes redness. It's like increased blood flow to the area, causes redness, and dark spots caused from that wound. This serum is Michelle Corley's licorice root additive. And this is a super basic serum. So this is glycerin, licorice root, and chamomile. It is very concentrated. And licorice root is amazing because not only is it a tyrosinase inhibitor, it's also extremely anti-inflammatory. So it is very calming and soothing. So if you're very sensitive, dry, reactive skin, you need this in your life. So it's called licorice root additive because it was originally formulated to be used as a booster in other things. So it can be used that way. So one amazing way to use it is to add a few drops of licorice root additive into your Mandelic serum. You can also use it to boost your daily skin clarifier, but daily skin clarifier already has some licorice root, so you could do that, but I don't know if that's the best use for it. I actually use this without mixing it with anything. I think it has the most lovely moisturizing finish to the skin. It's very soothing. It just feels really nice. I know I always try to swatch things for you in these videos and it's really difficult. But it is a lightweight serum texture, watery like this, as you can see. But it soaks into the skin with a very light, hydrating finish to it. It almost feels like a light oil, but not quite. It doesn't have any oil in it. It's just the natural texture of that licorice root extract that's in here. But this is the best for really red skin that gets a red spot that never goes away. If you picked at a pimple, if you're a picker, this serum is just so lovely. It's a simple formula that's really effective, and I find it's great for sensitive skin that's not able to tolerate a lot of products. I know there's a lot of clients out there and you put on a product on your skin that has a ton of ingredients and your skin reacts. So it's nice to keep it simple sometimes. So licorice root additive, sometimes it's such a sleeper. People don't realize it or notice it, but it's fantastic. It's a fantastic product. You can boost it into anything. You can boost it into your toner, boost it into your mist. I have a mist at home from Orgain, and I've actually added a bunch of drops to this into my mist. And then I just make sure I shake it every time I use it. And then I've got my licorice root booster right in my facial mist. So sky's the limit with this. It's a simple formula, so it mixes really easily into anything else, especially if it's a glycerin formula already. This is a glycerin-based formula. They'll just marry together and you've got a happy, very hydrating, lovely healing serum. So that's licorice root booster. I love that. And here's another one that you probably didn't expect. So this is not a serum, but this is a tyrosinase inhibitor that is very easy to add into your routine if you're not sure you have room for another serum. And that's because it's a toner. So Brightening Pigment Tonic from Rhonda Allison. This is one of Gina's favorite summer products of all time. She talks about it every summer. And I just got into using it myself last summer and this summer, because I recently discovered that this has extreme enzymes. So you've heard us talking about extreme enzymes that are in Glymed products, that are in the IS Clinical products, but this has an extreme enzyme called Thermus thermophilus ferment, and it is actually a little microbe that lives deep, deep, deep down in the ocean in an extreme environment. And they found that when you take this ferment and you utilize it in skincare, it teaches your skin cells to be more resilient, to protect themselves better, to have a higher antioxidant capability. Acne-prone skin was actually clinically shown to have less natural antioxidants. So that's less antioxidants to protect your skin from free radicals that are causing that pigmentation response, that are causing collagen degradation. So extreme enzymes are really amazing. So besides extreme enzymes in this toner, you also have the daisy flower extract. Daisy flower extract is another natural tyrosinase inhibitor. It not only does it inhibit tyrosinase, but it also actually helps brighten current pigment. So this is really nice if you have current pigment you're looking to brighten, but you also really want to strengthen the skin, protect the skin, and prevent new spots from forming, especially during the summer when you're outside a lot. This does not cause any UV sensitivity. This is really skin strengthening, great for summer. Gina in the summer, she plays tennis, and so she'll actually pump this into her palm and apply it all over her arms to help protect them from pigmentation, and it works really well that way. The way that I like to use this is with a toner pad after cleansing, because I just like that the toner pad just pushes it deeper into the skin, and it makes sure that I got any kind of gunk off my skin during the cleansing process. I just like using a toner pad, but you don't have to. This kind of toner, you can also just pump a little bit into your palms and pat it into the skin. You could pump a little bit into your palms. Then you could also add some licorice root booster. and then pat into the skin. That would be a really lovely combo. Heck, you could even put some daily skin clarifier, some brightening pigment tonic into your palm, and then apply those. That would also be so lovely. These are all of these that I've mentioned, except for pigment brightening serum and Mandelic serum, are really great to use during the summer because they're not causing that UV sensitivity that can cause more damage to happen and more pigmentation to happen. So that's the Daily Skin Clarifier, Brightening Pigment Tonic, and Licorice Root Additive. These are your sun-safe Tyrosinase Inhibitors. So these are all especially preventative, especially soothing to the skin. Licorice Root Additive especially, so soothing and anti-inflammatory. They're good. I know, I didn't bring a ton of products to show you guys because I have my favorites, and there are a lot of amazing brightening products that I'm not talking about today. And there's a lot of really great brightening products that we're gonna talk about next week. So next week, just to give you a sneak preview, next week's video is gonna be all about your brightening, but also skin clearing combinations. So our favorite serums are not only gonna be helping to get your skin clear, but also prevent and brighten dark spots. So that's where we're headed next week. But if there's not any more questions, I guess we'll wrap it up. I can't leave without telling you guys, if you don't know already, tomorrow is our Memorial Day weekend sale. Starts tomorrow, and you save more money depending on which tier you're in. So if you are in the glowing tier, which is the first tier, which everyone lives in, you are getting 15% off of most of our brands. There are a few brand exclusions. If you're in the middle tier, you get 18% off of all of those brands. And then if you're in the top tier, you get 20% off of all those brands. Plus, we've got some select devices that are also going to be 20% off for that top tier. So it really pays to be in our top tier of our rewards program. But if you're not in the top tier, obviously there's still some great ways to save some money. Let's see, I think everything I talked about today is included. So everything I talked about today is included in the sale tomorrow. So hold off, don't put your orders in yet, wait till tomorrow, but get your orders in early. Sometimes things sell out. Even if we think we stocked enough of it, sometimes things just fly off the shelf and sell out really fast. So make sure you get your orders in early in the weekend and then enjoy your Memorial Day. I hope you guys have Monday off and that you have fun plans and that you wear your sunscreen. And reapply every 2 hours. All right, everyone, I don't see any more questions, so I hope I see you all next week. Next week, we're talking all about those brightening serums for brightening the dark spots. Today, we just focused on prevention. So I hope to see you all next week. Definitely check out the Memorial Day sale starting tomorrow through the weekend, and